24 hours. Now, I'm just taking you through what Kapil Sibal is saying. Ultimately, on the 12th of November at 3:16 in the afternoon, President rule was declared. In the Constitution, Governor has some discretion. The pre-poll alliance broke down. Now we have a post-poll alliance. On the 22nd of November at 7 p.m, a press conference was held where we said the Shiv Sena and the NCP and the Congress have agreed to a common minimum program and will stake claim on government. That's the point that Rajdeep was making, that will the governor need to acknowledge something that's happening outside governor's house?
In my view, there's an objective reality that took place that evening. The governor cannot be oblivious to what is happening around him. Yes, floor test has to be done. You cannot prove majority in Raj Bhavan or in the YB Chavan Center. But if three parties are announcing that they've come together with a common minimum program, and if a leader of one of them, a leader, not the entire, if one leader of that party goes to the governor and claims that he is taking claim, and we don't even know whether Ajit Pawar went personally, none of this is known at the moment. For the governor at midnight to then suddenly get into action and at 7:45 swear someone in, there's a huge question mark.
There is no scope for a leader or any leader. It's the letter of support has to be sent by the party president. In the case of Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, as also in the case of Dr. Manmohan Singh, they were sworn in only on the basis of letters of support sent by party chiefs, not legislature party leaders.
We could argue that since Ajit Pawar was unanimously chosen as the legislature party leader, his word could have been taken. But I keep repeating, there was a meeting going on. And it was well known. It's not something happening secretly. You see, if there's a secret meeting,
the counter argument will be that they hadn't staked claim. It's not just about
that's, as I told you,
not about a press conference. Governors don't go by press conferences. They go by who's gone and claimed. Why did Uddhav Thackeray, Sharad Pawar and the Congress not move faster?
No, I'll tell you one thing. The only strong argument that the governor will have today, as will the BJP, is that the other side did not formally stake claim. If that was the case, the question still remains. What was the haste? What was the urgency? Why at 5:45 a.m.? Why at 7:45 a.m.? Why the stealth? Why the skullduggery? Why the last minute operation? Okay. Where were all the other NCP MLAs? You're just swearing into... Look, there is a lot that has to be answered in the manner in which you do things. It's not just the form, it's also the manner. The question will be raised. 5:45 a.m.
Okay.
You're revoking President's rule. This is a legitimate question to raise.
In fact, that's the point that Kapil Sibal has just made in the Supreme Court. Remember, we're reporting to you on a moment-by-moment basis the arguments being made in the Supreme Court. So Kapil Sibal has now told the three-judge bench, what happened after our press conference is bizarre. I have not seen anything like this. The governor at 7 p.m. The governor at 7 a.m. advises and President's rule is revoked. There's no cabinet meeting. There must be a national emergency for these special powers to be used. At 5 a.m., governor's rule is revoked. At 8 a.m., two people are sworn in. What happened is shrouded in mystery. What documents were given? What was the nature of the invitation? On the face of it, it's not just bizarre, but it also suggests that the governor was acting under direct instructions. Otherwise, such things are not done. This is Kapil Sibal arguing in the Supreme Court on behalf of the Shiv Sena. If we have announced at 7 p.m. that we are going to stake the claim, how was someone else invited? We don't know what time has been given to prove majority. And this is correct, Rajdeep. They haven't yet publicly announced how many days have been given to Devendra Fadnavis with majority.
There's no official communication from the Raj
That's correct. There's no communication.
Which is the other big question mark over the manner in which this exercise has been undertaken. You know, you don't even let... People are saying 30th, that up to 30th he has time. Where does that date come from? Who has said it? Ravi Shankar Prasad says 30th. But the governor doesn't. The media has not sent an official communique. That's what I said. The lack of transparency, the stealth with which this has happened raises questions. And I think those questions are being raised today before the Supreme Court, which is why the Supreme Court is prima facie hearing it. Prima facie, it appears that the governor has not exercised his mind while going through this decision. And that's the only reason. Otherwise, the Supreme Court could well have told the Congress NCP Sena, please come on Monday. You know, I think we have to start recognizing that governors have been put there for a particular task. They are not agents of the center. They are agents of the Constitution. And the distinction between being the agents of a government and the agents of Constitution, unfortunately, it would seem, didn't happen in Maharashtra. We don't know what the Supreme Court will say. In all probability, they'll do what they did in Karnataka and give 48 hours to Mr. Fadnavis. But either way, it casts a huge question mark. Mr. Vajubhai Wala is still the governor. of Karnataka, even after being rapped on his knuckles. And I'm sure Mr. Koshyari will continue, because that's the way this country at the moment, in the context of institutions, is run, and it was done in Indira Gandhi's time as well. Raj Bhavan has been repeatedly misused by whoever is in power.
Okay, I want to take our viewers now. Kapil Sibal still arguing in the Supreme Court. My first argument is that the act of governor smacks of bias and malafide, violates all norms set out by judgments from time to time. Justice Ramana says that's not the issue. Sibal says, I know that the issue will take time to argue, but what's needed now is that if they want to prove majority on the floor of the House, they should hold an immediate floor test. So he's asking for an immediate floor test. Justice Bhushan has asked, when was the letter of support or letter staking claim given to the governor? Kapil Sibal, we don't know. Nothing is in the public domain. President's rule was lifted at 5:17 a.m. They could have only approached the governor after that. Justice Bhushan, they could have also approached the governor before that also. Sibal says it could have happened only between 7 p.m. and 5 p.m. So those are the arguments being made.
And the reason why it's 7 p.m. and 5 a.m. is because Ajit Pawar was at the meeting of the Congress BJP Sena till 7:30. So, Ajit Pawar is at that meeting where Sharad Pawar and others come outside and say we've come to a consensus on the name of Uddhav Thackeray. And then Ajit Pawar reportedly, there is no, as is being suggested, there is no evidence. Did Ajit Pawar physically go meet Mr. Koshyari? No evidence. Did Ajit Pawar give a letter of claim? Did he give a letter by fax? Did he personally hand over the letter? No record. What was contained in the letter? No record. None of this is put out in the public domain. Which is why, as I said, the secrecy, the lack of transparency in this operation is what is damaging the case of the governor.
Is now trying to summarize what the opposition is asking for. He says, so your challenge in this petition is limited to two things. The decision of the governor to invite Devendra Fadnavis to be the Chief Minister of Maharashtra and the oath-taking ceremony. Sibal replies, yes, we have decided not to go into other things. The issue is clear. If they have the majority, they should prove it. So instead of pushing so much for annulment,